Hello everyone. I wanted to do a brush review today because I have brushes from both Walmart and some from County Market, which is a grocery store in Illinois. And you can actually get these brushes, they're e.l.f. brushes, online or in other department stores. I'm not sure where they're available at, but I know they're available at my County Market. And then a couple of the brushes I just got just by randomness. But I'm going to share my reviews first with the e.l.f. brushes. They're actually my favorite that I've got in my whole collection. Cheap as they are, they're like $1 each. They are quite amazing. The only problem with them, yeah, you're going to have to glue those suckers back onto the bases because the heads pop off. So I would definitely buy some super glue when you get them because you're going to expect them to just like pop off any moment. That is with a lot of cheap brushes anyway. I just learned that from experience. But I have their foundation brush, which I'm not actually fond of, and here's the reason why I'm not fond of it. It's pretty good when you see it because it looks pretty well together here, but once you start putting the liquid on it, it separates each of the little, like, into bunches, and then you get like streaks. So you have to sometimes go over with like a sponge to make sure that you don't have streaks over your face. That's the problem with this one, but overall it's a pretty good brush if you want a cheap foundation brush. However, I would go to a different place and get a different one. I'm looking into ones from other drugstores like Walgreens, and I'll be able to give you reviews on those once I got those. Anyway, the next one I have from e.l.f. is their bronzing brush, which is basically their blush brush. But it's got this awesome contour. It's actually an awesome brush, and it goes just right in there, and it gets your gets in there really good. So it's a good brush. The next brush I'm going to talk to you about, which is very good, I love it, is their defining eye brush, which is kind of beveled, and it's pretty good quality. I don't usually have problems with this brush, so these two are the best out of the e.l.f. brushes. I'm planning to expand into my e.l.f. empire on brushes because I love them. But the next one I have is my all over foundation brush. I have no clue who the brand is because I got it from Pomida. It's like one of those buys where you get it, you just don't know what the brand is. It's just some odd brand. If you live near Pomida, go ahead and get it. Basically, it's just your basic brush. You could get the same type of quality at your local drugstore. I also got, and I know the brand of this one, a Wet n Wild one, but it's a Kabuki, and it's pretty awesome. I don't have any disappointments with it. I will warn you with this one, and this one I bought here, since they are cheap, they're soft, but they shed like the sheepdog when you first use them, because they're like crazy on the shedding. So that's the only downside. Okay, now I've got some Walmart brushes. I'm not much of an advocate on Walmart brushes because they're decent, but they're just cheaply made. I'm really trying to venture off into at least drugstore. I prefer to own MAC brushes, but they're so expensive that they're just not within my budget right now in my life. I'm looking more towards the, not necessarily the cheapest, but kind of in that mid-range. I also got a great review by Boiler on Target brushes, so I might get into Target brushes. But here is the brushes I got from Walmart. The first one I have is like a big old honkin' eyeshadow brush, which is for just full coverage over the lid. Then I have a, well, it looks like a concealing brush, but it's really a crease brush for your, I guess you could use it for many purposes. These look like multi-purpose tools. They've been holding up really good because I've actually had these about a year. So yeah. And then the next one I want to talk about is the lip brush. The lip brush is decent. I don't have any problem with the lip brush. Then I have the eyeliner brush. Oh, now Boiler also brought this to my attention. I've never really used this with liquid, but if I would thank him for telling me about this. The one difference between cheap brushes to expensive brushes when it comes to eyeliner brushes are the best. because they poke up and they stay up and they're good and they don't like make jagged edges. Where this one, it's so cheap, it does not give you a good line at all. So I would not get your liner brush at Walmart because it sucks. And then I got in that same collection, like, it's a brush, but it's like it doesn't really serve a purpose. But it's really, it's white and it's a more stiffer brush, I guess you'd say. And they're plastic, which is really peculiar because you don't usually get plastic brushes. But it makes excellent if you want to like try to really get pigmentation out of matte eyeshadows. I've discovered it really helps a lot with that purpose. If you're trying to really dig in there and get some color value out of it. So yeah. Another tip I heard from Boiler, when it comes to eyelash combs, it really doesn't matter what brand you get. So, I mean, eyelash comb is eyelash comb. So, yeah. And I have one more brush I want to share with you guys that I just got from a palette. Just a random brush, but it's a pretty good brush. So, yeah. That's my brush review for right now. But I'm sure as I'll get more brushes and more stuff, I will elaborate. So, toodles!